Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Monday evening edition of Interesting Ideas. We don't start Monday morning. You're busy, very busy. In fact, many of you are like me. You try and get a fast start on Monday, and so let you do that, and perhaps after a busy day, you'll at least want a little time for some interesting reflection time in your corner. Your corner, right. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Everybody needs a corner. Well, today I'm noting that on the 17th, there will be a meteor shower take place. And I'm going to read about that, and I'm going to out and watch it, because I guess I don't remember ever seeing one before that I know of. So it's a meteor shower. And the elections now, it turns out, in America, come down to perhaps an election in Georgia again, between two men, and millions, many millions of dollars, I guess, are being spent in that campaign. And I really have to ask myself, is it really that so worthwhile that it's worth many millions of dollars, depending on who is elected? After looking at them, I'm not particularly sure that either one of them, they're okay, fine gentlemen, but there's nothing very special about either one of them that they bring to the marketplace of ideas and to perhaps governance. But we're going to get one or the other in the United States, and millions of people, or at least people who have millions of dollars, believe that it's going to make a difference. And I really don't think so. What do you think? And with that, I'm done with the American election, even thinking about it, and we'll just see what happens. Well, today I'd like to do something that I always enjoy doing, and that's sharing a thought, a Monday night thought, Monday evening thought, from my good friend of Pastor Randy Helm, who is a cowboy church pastor and an incredible horse trainer or horse whisperer. And I'm going to read from his book. Just a little thought, a few minutes. I think it'll be worth your while, and it's appropriate for a Monday. It's slow down. Slow down. Let's see what the good horseman, Pastor Randy, has to say for this week. That's an interesting idea. It really is. And the program begins right now. And here we go again. Lessons from Horses. Chapter 20. Slow down. And there's a picture of a person riding their horse slowly. Slow down and enjoy life. It's only the scenery. It's not only the scenery you miss by going too fast. You also miss the sense of where you are going and why. So slow down, Eddie Cantor. In training inmates to train horses, I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say that I find myself saying slow down 100 times more often than speed up. Whether it is gentling a wild horse or training a domestic trail horse, the need to slow down is universally a challenge. Training horses is a process that must focus on the mind, not the feet. That being the case, we must allow the horse to comprehend what we are asking. And comprehension is what takes time and patience. Horses need to figure out where we are asking them to do and what we are asking them to go. Since we speak a different language, we need to help them figure things out through slow, deliberate repetition. If we start slow, we give them the best chance to learn. If we start slow, we can add speed. If we start calm, we can add excitement. It rarely works the other way around. The least resistance method of training horses is sometimes referred to as horse whispering. Well, I think that label probably has more to do with the quietness of the trainer as he or she speaks softly to the horse. Speaking softly keeps the trainer calm and transfers to how we progress with the horse. Sometimes when working on a maneuver such as loping collected circles, I hum. I hum to calm myself and help the horse get into a rhythm. The interesting thing I've discovered is that over time the horse will hear the humming and automatically relax into a smoother gait. Now, I'm not suggesting I want slow horses, but I do want relaxed horses. A horse thinks better when he is relaxed. Being relaxed is a mindset, not speed. A horse can be relaxed at a walk, trot, or lope. Conversely, a horse can be anxious standing still or at any gait. I slow down to give my horse the best chance to figure out what I'm trying to teach and to help the horse relax. Like horses, I make much better decisions when I'm not in a hurry, anxious, stressed, or worried. In Shakespeare's classic Romeo and Juliet, Friar Lawrence gives young Romeo some great advice that would have changed the outcome of the tragedy. His advice to Romeo: go wisely and slowly. Those who rush stumble and fall. Well, the good pastor goes on and says, God tells us in Psalm 46, be still and know that I'm God. Well, you know, there are so many applications from horse training to life. Here are just a few. If we start out fast, we will have difficulty getting energy down, which directly translates to safety and success. Thinking is always better than reacting. Those who act first and think later live lives of regret. An intentional life is not a reactive life filled with doing, but a life focused on thought and purpose. Starting out slow begins with standing still. If a horse is moving when I'm getting on, I know I have a horse that starts by acting, not thinking. I want a horse to stand still until I ask him to do something. Movement too often disconnects the mind. Well, you know what? This is true for people. If we act before we think, we will find that we rarely learn and too often live with regret. Slowing down gives us the footing to move forward toward a goal and the energy to move quickly. It is easier to build movement and energy than to take it away. Yep, just some thoughts there. I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rush and rush until life's no fun. All I really have to do, live and die, but I'm in a hurry, and I don't know why. I'm not singing that song, but that was a hit song by Alabama in 1992 with their hit song, I'm in a Hurry. But some of you who are of my age remember the 59th Street Bridge song, slow down, you go too fast. You gotta make the morning last, just skipping down. And you go back and find that old song. And it's an old song. And Simon and Garfunkel talk about slowing down. Okay, now, Pastor Randy continues. He says we need to slow down to get in touch with God. In the 19th chapter of 1 Kings, we find the prophet Elijah discouraged and drained. He desperately wanted to hear from God, so he ran a long-distance race to a cave. While waiting securely in the cave for God to speak, he had a front row seat to a display of tremendous power, energy, and excitement. The Bible tells us a strong hurricane force wind passed by. Then there was an earthquake, followed by a fire. And the Bible continues that says God was not in the wind, and God was not in the earthquake, nor was he in the fire. After the fire died out and the dramatics ended, Elijah heard a whisper, and he knew it was God. Think about that. Just think about that. Some interesting ideas. I'm Stan Houston, and we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back. Okay, here we go. Some more wisdom from horses. Pastor Randy continues. Pretty spectacular stuff. I would have concluded early on that God showed up, went out of the cave, and got blown off the side of the mountain. But Elijah knew a lot more about God than I do. God was saying something profound to Elijah, and by inference to you and me. Excitement, energy, activity does not necessarily mean anything. God wanted Elijah to stand still, slow down, and listen. And I wonder how many times I've missed the supernatural by looking for the spectacular. I must admit that I'm pretty impressed with hurricanes and earthquakes and fire. But God wants me to listen for his still, small voice. He doesn't scream or throw things to get our attention. Instead, he whispers. I have to remind myself of this when training a horse. I don't want to yank the horse's head around when I want him to turn. I want to pull the rein 1 inch to the right or to the left. I don't want to kick my horse to get him to move. I want to add the least amount of pressure to let the horse know I want him to move. We must slow down if we're going to be able to hear what God is saying. In fact, we must slow down if we want to understand anything good at all. So just think about that. As Rod Serling used to say many, many years ago, when you're in the twilight zone, which we're all in if we know what's going on, when you're in the twilight zone, just an idea for your thought and consideration. Randy Helm, Lessons from Horses. Look it up and buy it. Pastor Randy's going to be around on the program from time to time, but I just wanted to give you a preview of his wisdom. So thank you very much for listening. Give me just a minute and I'll be back. I have a concluding request and we'll go from there. More and more, I want this program to grow out to your participation. We've been making this particular part of our podcast. We've done hundreds, thousands of podcasts. And this is the one that I've finally really said that this is one that I want to have more and more of my listeners be a part of. That's a new understanding for me. But it's a good one. So we want you to share your good ideas. Now, you can do it a couple ways. First of all, just send something to me, and I'll give you what we call the shout out, and then I'll give a voice to your idea. Or if you really want to try, just say, Stan, could you record me and really have my voice and my thoughts right on the radio? We can do that. And all it takes, you don't have to Zoom it. You don't have to Skype it. You don't have to get a computer and a microphone out. All you have to do is call me on a phone, and we can arrange for literally a broadcast quality recording of our conversation, and we can work it into our own program here. And perhaps some of you are now saying, it's going to be a difficult and different world in 23. I need to do some brand new things, and maybe one of the brand new things I should do is think about, I'm hearing how the podcast works for many people and many businesses. Maybe I should consider that. Well, we won't tell you you have to do it. We're not even going to tell you you should do it, but we can help you discover that and make the decision, and then we can give you some world class. And I say that modestly, I hope, but it's also true, some world class training on how to be a broadcaster. I've been doing it for many years, and I do it well. So reach out to me at stanhouston@gmail.com, stanhouston@gmail.com. If you want to get more of the story, go to witradio.net. Wit, W-I-T, what it takes, witradio.net. All the best and blessings. Take care, be safe, and slow down. Don't go too fast. Bye for now.